Welcome, everyone. My name is Bianca Cotton, and I have Janay here with us. She excites me, y'all. Y'all have no idea. I am the founder of Behind the Confident Smile, where we inspire women to walk in love, live in hope, and be healed from past hurts. And the times that we're living in, y'all, is really highlighting the disparities in the Black community, and also our greatness. So this series, Defining Black Womanhood, Black Women Writers Edition, is all about highlighting Black women who write, y'all. So we can tell our own stories on our own terms and share the gems in the other women to encourage them to write their stories and own their narratives too. So that's why we are here. So get your notebooks out, because what I know about Janay, she is an educator. So don't be surprised at what she shares. She is 28 years of age, native of Maryland, residing in Chicago, works in nonprofit sector as an organizational leader. Sounds like she could do some consulting. Loves to eat. I do too. Being at home for this long, probably not helping. She watches historical fiction movies. She's the author of God, Do You Like My Fro? What My Natural Hair Taught Me About Faith, and the author of Grace. So without further ado, welcome, Janay Brinkley.
Thanks. That was a really, Bianca just makes you feel welcome and loved. She just has that, right? But no, I'm honored to be on here. She is a beautiful person inside and out. And if you ever get a chance to meet her in person, well, not a lot of in person, but if you ever, no, seriously, she's a beautiful person. Again, on the outside and the inside. So thank you so much for having me, Bianca.
Oh, no problem. And be ready, you all, because Janay is gonna bust out her flow within this interview. Get ready. But before we get into that, what's your earliest memory of you writing?
Right. I've always been a writer. So my earliest memories of me writing was when I was a little girl. It would be from what I can remember earliest is second grade, elementary school. I always wrote poems, just in general wrote poems. But in second grade, there was a write-a book competition. And that's where I wrote my first book of poems. And, I was just writing, because I always wrote poems. I just wrote poems about angels, about food, about having a big brother, and just, second grade stuff, right?
Right.
And it actually did very well, where I actually won the competition. And it was at Point Ridge Elementary back in Bowie, Maryland. And they actually, the winner, you take your book and it'll be in our elementary school library. And so, yeah, it did really well and ended up, winning for my grade, and it ended up being in our elementary school library. So earliest writing was second grade. Yeah.
You were a Black women writer, author, long time ago. That is awesome. How did that make you feel? Or do you remember how that made you?
I really do. I think that was the first time as a child, I remember just when I submitted my poems, I just did it. And I remember when my teacher was like, no, Janay, this is really good. And then when my parents found out about it, my whole family was very supportive. So I remember my dad, my mother, and my brother all helped me put the book together, right? And at that moment, just seeing the support, like, oh, they really like my stuff. And I'm second grade, so I'm like, I'm just writing about my perspective from my little eyes of what I see and how it makes me feel. And just the support, I think at that moment, I took myself serious at that age, like, you are pretty good at this, They actually care about your perspective as a second grader. And I think that's what made me feel like, wow, I feel cherished,
That's beautiful. Building that confidence at an early age is so critical as we get older.
Yeah.
So more along those lines, what are you to write? So since you've been writing for so long, what encouraged you to pick up a pen or maybe at that time a pencil in your journal?
I think you mean at that time, right?
Yeah.
At that time, I think it was, usually as a child, oftentimes, you're not overlooked, but you are kind of overlooked, right? In most homes, you don't really have that much of a say so, right? So, and I'm the baby of the family, right? So I have an older brother, parents, whatever, and it's like the point, like no one's listening to me right now. It's like, so I'm gonna find some way to express myself, right? Where I'm not gonna get in trouble, where I'm not gonna be too loud, right? Where I'm not gonna be annoying, right? Because I'm the younger sibling too. And so I'm gonna find some way to express myself. So whether it be expressing my frustrations I remember one poem I wrote was about teenagers, right? Because why? I'm observing my older brother on the phone with his girlfriends, playing video games, and I'm just like, being a teenager must be really hard, but so and it's literally just from my eyes, and I'm just writing about things. I had a poem about angels, like what I imagine angels to be like, right? And I'm writing about that. So I think it was just a way to express myself at a young age, because it's kind of like, how else am I going to be heard? Where I'm not annoying everybody. So let me just write something down. Yeah.
That's real. I can. I'm the youngest of so I've been writing for a long time too. And let's shift gears to your two books. What encouraged you to write God, Do You Like My Fro? I remember when I first heard the title of that book, I was like, interesting. I never would have even thought to ask that question to the Lord.
That book was our first ever a published book, right? And that book just came from a moment of just vulnerability and transparency. So the title is called God, You Like My Fro, What My Natural Hair Journey Has Taught Me About My Faith. And it literally is just a timepiece of where I was and rededicate my life to Christ. And I say returning natural, right? Because I don't say really going natural, because I was already natural when I was born, right? So it's literally a parallel of this is what it looked like returning to Christ, because grew up in a church, kind of lost my way in college. Not kind of, I did. Lost my way in college and then come back. But at that same time, coincidentally, I'm also returning natural. So it's a lot of transitions going on, but these two are oddly like, they're similar journeys, right? One's external and one's internal, right? And then it reversed it. So my hair is external, but there's also something internally happening with me, my self-esteem. And then internally, my relationship with Christ, right? But then it's going to show on the outside. So it's like this weird parallel type of thing. And so I think it came to a point where I was working at my dream job, and I just realized, like, I got what I want in life. I got my dream job. I'm on my way to, pursue other endeavors, but I'm unfulfilled. What do I need to do to be happy? I'm really good at my job. I'm having a lot of success here. I'm not happy though. I feel unfulfilled. What makes me fulfilled? I went to my first love. I love writing, right? And I remember literally being at work on my phone, writing the book in the notes section, right? I'm on my phone, I'm writing the book, and Bianca, I lie to you not, I wrote that book in 3 weeks. And I don't know what
I can relate.
You know how it is, right? We need to just get something out, and it just starts, and you really have to just be sensitive to, like, like this is the season you're in, right? And it just starts flowing. And so literally my whole book was on my phone. And then I would be at work. I'll be at work working, but and I'm literally it's just dropping into me like, oh, da, 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 da. So I'm writing in my phone, and then literally I'm leaving work, I'm going home, and I'm typing it out. And I'm typing it out. And then that cycle just happened. I'm only staying for 2:00 in the morning, waking up at 6 to work. And it's just this cycle for 3 weeks. And I get the first draft finished. And I'm like, ooh, it's out. Okay.
Yes.
Now what do I do?
I know what that feels like. If not all of my blog posts were written in my notes section of my phone. Every phone. I was like, thank you, phone, for holding all of my notes and blog posts and poetry.
Yes. because it just drops. Like, and then, I mean, we're in an age of technology, so where in before and past, it'll be notepad, right?
Yeah.
Napkins. Now, phone, right?
Yeah.
And you get it because you have to get it out, or she will forget it. Or it's not gonna be the same as it was given to you in the moment, right?
That's true. That is true. Now, what about grace?
Yeah, so it was God, you like my fro, well, my natural hair type of my face, and then that came out in like June of 2017. Yeah, 2017, and then I ended up writing Grace, which is like an ebook, right? And I wrote that because Bianca, the same thing happened to me. That was, I think, like in September. No. That was in like November, December, right? More so December of 2017, that same year. And it was literally one of those moments where I just had a burden for people not understanding the grace of God. I just did. And I remember I wrote that little ebook in 3 hours, okay? And that it just came. And then remember I was up to like, again, 2:00 in the morning, all that one day. And I just like, let me just get this out because it's all here. And it's not long. It's like 12 pages maybe. But it's just the most simplest way I can just communicate the grace of God and our inheritance as sons and daughters. And yeah.
Beautiful. So all the writers out there that can relate to, you get something and you just stay up until you get. I have many of nights like that. And so recently I have had many of nights, and it's not just with writing, it's just with ideas. There are pages and pages and pages. It's like, well, the end, creativity does not die. It's a living, breathing.
It is.
And the more you use it, the more it comes.
The more
it just keeps going.
And I'm sure you can relate to this, Bianca. Tell me you have stuff that you've written that you haven't released yet.
You just my gosh. So
just sitting there. I'm like, it's just sitting there. I don't know when, but it's just there.
It's just sitting on the Google Drive, like looking at me. And I was like, I'm gonna come back to you. I got another idea. Like, I'm gonna come back to you. Because I believe that there are seasons for when those projects actually will need to be released. Yeah. Because the things that I've written lately have been like you, 2-3 weeks. All right, time to push it out. And it's like their things has been sitting for years.
Yep.
Very
you can
much
relate.
So.
Writers unite.
So this is the opportunity for you to share your piece with us now.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna pull up on my phone. Look, phone's always there. Yeah. So this is just, so in my book, there is the last chapter where it's literally me asking the question and getting the answer of God, you like my fro. So, okay. Father, you know that I love talking to you and asking you for wisdom. But there's always been this one thing on my mind to ask you that I never did because I was worried in the outcome. You sent laborers to speak life into me to confirm all that I could be. But within that prophecy, did you envision this fro being a part of me? So I asked you this question, God, do you like my fro? Is your hair like sheep's wool? Is it anything like mine? Because the pictures and paintings of Jesus with straight hair and blue eyes are deceiving, and they change the way beauty is defined. You said in your pure word that I was made in your image and in your likeness, but everywhere I turn, I am told to blend in with the darkness. Keep your hair straightened, they say. We have evolved from those kinky naps. Then I stare deep into their eyes and see the fear in their heart of a past relapse. This hair, this blessing, somehow reminds them of the curse, the guilt they now feel for their treatment of us, or the pain of slavery we felt when life was perverse. We used to be told to hide our unruly hair, tie it down, so that it wouldn't be seen until we were home. But oh, the day we rejoice at the invention of the hot comb. Now we can surely fit in. Now they can surely see that we belong. Showing off our press and curl for approval while they still labeled us wrong. So Lord, I ask you again, do you even like my fro? This past problem on my head when my ancestors were called Negro, why would you give me this troubled mane that society won't accept? Why do they keep telling me that my hair is unkept? I ask you in heaven because you are king of all. You are the one. I don't need anyone else's opinion, biases, or concern. You are whom I want approval from. My heart cries out to you, Lord. I need to hear from you. I won't leave or go. What is it that you, my Father, have to say about my fro? Then it happened. As I was on my knees, I felt him descend. I began to cry and pour out my heart, begging for him to step in. He always shows up when I call him. He knows just when to intervene. Go back to what you already know. Psalms 139, verse 14. I then told God that I understood that verse, but everything around me has my head in the cloud, and before I could finish, he cut me off. I didn't ask you about everything around you. Go back to Psalms 139, verse 14, and read it out loud. I humbled myself, and I submitted to whom I was among. I obeyed his instructions as his precious words rolled off of my tongue. I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and that my soul knows very well. He said, Janay, my beautiful daughter, I gave you and others alike that kinky, curly, coily hair because you all have a story to tell. I made everyone in this world in my image, but to your kind, I knew that my spirit will be welcome again to worship as one. So my gift to you, I gave you the same texture as Jesus, my son. I gave gifts to my children of all shades, for the kingdom needs all for the saving of lost soul. So whatever it is that I blessed you with, remember the reason for it and play your role. Don't get distracted and remember that my works are marvelous. Walk in the purpose that I gave you and bind those spirits of insecurity, doubt, and fearfulness. Again, I told you before, I will not lie. Again, I told you before, the God that I am will never die. So I answered your question, but I will say it again. Daughter, I love your fro, but I never created it for your glory, but for mine to grow.
Mm. Mm. Yes. Oh, yes. Woo. Yes.
So that was the first thing I wrote for the book, and then let me the last chapter. But that was the first thing I wrote, and then from there the chapter started flowing. That's literally the conversation with God. So
that is so powerful. That's so rich. Oh, that's so rich.
Thank you.
I can listen to that over and over. Like, yes, little black girl. No, God gave you that.
Facts, right?
Your hair is kinky. You hear me? Oh, wow. Like, that piece right there is I know it already has impacted so many since you've published it, but it's going to reach so many and encourage so many and remind us who we are in Christ, that we are created in his image, that we are not beneath.
We're not.
We're not.
Like
We're not.
It's,
don't get me down there. Don't get me
right. That's why I was like, let me snap out of that because
I'm gonna stay focused for today. Okay.
Right. Listen, let me snap out because
So speaking of impact, what impact do you hope your writing will add to individuals who read it?
That's a really good question. I think, well, first and foremost, I think I hope my impact is that it's authentic, right? I hope that through my writing, whatever genre, right, whether it be something that's inspirational, something that's fiction, nonfiction, I just hope that it's authentic to who I am. The desire is that people just be comfortable in your uniqueness, right? So I hope that when people see me as a woman, as a writer, that and me express myself, writing how I write, the way I write, even telling things about myself, whatever, that they get the courage to just be themselves in authenticity. The second thing I hope is always going my faith is that I hope that it just incites some type of desire with tapping into what people believe in, right? And for me, it happens to be Jesus, right? But I just want to be able to show his love in whatever I write, right? In whatever genre, right? So that can even include like what, sci-fi, right? Whatever it may be, whatever, right? So just examples of that. And I hope that just impacts to know that, you know, I guess it's like also impact of this authenticity and humanity, and then also just a different perspective on our faith.
That's good. And I wholeheartedly believe that you have already begun that journey.
Thank you. Thank you.
And just listening to that beautiful, beautiful piece, I can already hear the uniqueness. But from your perspective, what is unique about your writings?
Well, I guess the simple answer would be it's mine. Like and I'm saying this in the most practical way, is like there will never be another Janay Brinkley ever. There'll never be another Bianca Cotton ever. So how I see things from my eyes, based on my experience, based on knowledge, based on how my heart, right? You'll never get that perspective, that creativity. Even if you do something similar, it's still not going to be like me. Same with you. Like, you know, I think so. I think it's coming from me. And so it can't be duplicated, can't be copied, even if it's tried. So I think it's just embracing of me, including my flaws, my failures, all that makes me who I am. And so that's what's unique about it. You're getting, again, authenticity. So
that's good. And I asked this question because conversations that I hear, social media posts that I see oftentimes, some people are afraid to step out and just do what God has called them to do, or even do what moves them, because they're like, oh, well, somebody else is already doing that, or somebody else has already said that.
Yeah.
But you just, everybody watching this video, that it's only one you.
Yep.
It's only one you. So only you can say it how you're going to say it, because you see the world differently through your eyes, through your experiences, through your triumphs, through your lessons learned, through your bumps on the knee, all of it.
Yep.
Only you can write that sentence. So go speak it.
Yeah.
Put it in a book.
The funny, what you just said is so good, Bianca. You just said there's plenty of other books about people's hair journey in their faith. I'm not the first one to write that, right? I'm not. There's plenty of other stories, poems, people written to God about their hair, plenty. And I think we have to get out of the first syndrome, right? Where it's like, I gotta be the first. If I'm not the first, I don't want to do it, right? I've dealt with this a lot, right? How gifted you are, everyone wants to be unique, but the reality is there's nothing new. Someone's already done it, right? You're gonna only be so creative to the point where it's either gonna be a derivative or something, but here's the thing about it, even in that, it's still gonna be unprecedented, right? Because it's you. So either way, it's still never going to be done, whatever, because it's coming from you. So technically, it's like we're all first. So it's like we have to just give us. There's plenty of people have done plenty. Like I'm gonna my people wrote about grace before. They just did it from the perspective and the angle in which I did it from. So therefore, it's new. It's but I guess that's just the perspective. There's no topic that hasn't been untapped, unturned, untouched. No. Everyone has done. It's 2020, right? So
yes,
we missed first way back when the Earth was first started.
Yeah, it's too late to be like the first human job,
right? But there's still first to be accomplished, though. I'm not trying to negate that. There's still things that you can do first, right? But I think you have to just get out that in our head, like, oh, it's already done, so therefore there's no need for me. There is. Because if this is the topic and pool of conversation, our perspectives fill it and we create it. So we need more people talking about Black women's experience. We need more people talking about natural hair. Because not just my perspective, we need everyone else. We need more people talking about it because it makes the conversation bigger. So, yeah.
And it helps people not to feel like they're alone. So your natural hair may be different than mine. Like I may be a 4B, you may be a 3C. Our stories may be different. Like we both have locks, but our locks journeys are very unique in their own right. So it's not about, oh, I'm better than you, like competition. It's like, no, like what was your story? Really? That's what you use in your hair? Like we come to share. We're eating off the same plate, you all. If we start to think about if you eat, I eat. We eating off the same plate.
And you know what's funny about it? Because before, I'll be honest, I used to have this mentality. And it's really a poverty mentality, right? Where you feel like, okay, if I'm writing about natural hair, right, and someone else write about too, it's like, man, there's not enough room. And that's that poverty mentality. There's not enough, right? And so to just get out of that mentality is, like you said, we have to think, I'm contributing to this conversation. I don't own it. I'm contributing to it, right? Because if the real motive of writing something is you're trying to eradicate a problem, bring perspective to it, the reality is that we're all solutions. So, but one person can't be the solution alone, right? That's unrealistic. So it's like, no, if the whole solution is getting people to learn to respect us, to cherish us, and us to do the same to ourselves, then I need your perspective, you need my perspective, her perspective, his perspective. There we go. So I'm contributing to the solution. It's not about me. It's about those people who are coming after us, who are in it with us, right? And those people who have did what they did before us. So
definitely.
Yeah.
And since we like food, think of it as in going to a buffet, y'all. The buffets have different types of food in them, depending on the buffet you go to. And it all contributes to the same plate.
Yeah.
And for you to be fed. So if the buffet didn't have what you wanted to eat and your brother and sister or your husband or your kids, you wouldn't go to that buffet. It can't feed everybody because it's not enough. We need variety. Yeah, and that's what we are talking about with different perspectives.
I love it.
Leave a comment on that, okay?
Leave
a comment on that. So, how has your life changed since you have begun writing? But since you've been writing since you were younger, like how has your life evolved as you?
I'll be real honest with you. My first book actually had some pretty good success, right? Like it was a pretty good success where I kind of went on speaking engagements. I was invited onto a live news show back in DC. Good Morning DC. So it has some really pretty good success. If I could be very honest, because it was the expectation now that where's the other book at? Where's the other book at, right? And even now, it's like it's that expectation now, right? And what could tag along to that is fear of success. So I think for me, it's not the matter of fear of failure anymore, because I think that kind of got dealt with the first book. Like, oh, okay, I have success now. But now the fear of success is that there's accountability now. And I have to be very honest, I think my life was changed to that, knowing that because I'm now an author, and I've always kind of, thank God, I've been a little skillful and graceful with my words and how I to my words. There's a responsibility now, right? So now I don't just want to put out just anything, right? Whether it be on social media or whatever it is, right? I'm just more careful with my words now. So I think my life has changed because for me, I have my own personal conviction and my own personal standard for what I put out in the world. I'm big on communication and written communication. And so again, I want to be authentic, right, to myself, my faith as well, but I also want to be mindful that when you write something, it has impact. And I think sometimes we underestimate the impact of print because of digital. It's never going to go away, right? I don't care how much you ebook it, electronic and all that. But I think that's how my life has changed, that I realized the impact of written words. And so I think I just have more accountability. I have more reliability on it too, and just learning how I have to just more, just growing in that skill. So
that's good. That's good. Yes, words have power. Life and death is in the power of the tongue, and that also means written words.
Yep.
So wholeheartedly believe that. Do you have a favorite Black woman writer?
This question was so hard. You know, it was so hard. And here's why it was hard. It was hard because I could have gone in so many different ways. And I think for
Mm-hmm.
me, I was like, I was like, I don't know. For me, it was hard because you think about greats and you think about people, I'm just throwing her out my Angelou, right? And all that. And it's like, if I can be very honest with you, I think it's unfair just to say who my favorite is because I like everybody. But mostly for me, one of my favorite writers, I'll say her, Issa Rae. And here's why. I'll say she is because I love her freedom to express herself in writing. And I love how, yes, we know that she has shows and all that, but it came from writing her experiences in a book, right?
Yes.
And it came from writing stuff, whatever. And I think I just love to see for me is you seeing the words come alive, be manifested in the whole show, right? And also,
Mm-hmm.
but I think what I like about that is just the inner thoughts that we may think that we don't say. And I think that's
Yes.
authentic. And I think that's why I would say that my answer for today is that because it's authentic to the culture, it's authentic to the woman's experience, and then it's authentic to the oddball experience. And I'm a goofy oddball, so it's like this is so real because I can relate to this. And she is not filtering anything, she is not whatever, and she is just, and but you see that confidence in who she is as a person. I don't know personally, but just from her writing, right? And I always tell people this all the time, as far as like, your book can be the foundation of so much more stuff. You don't know what can come out of a book, right?
That's true.
Because it's life. And so I tried, I was like, I can go the classic route, I can pick, the legend. I said, no, I think I want to pick her. And that's why.
That's yes. I remember, and one of my friends introduced me to her webisodes, and we got hooked, and we watched every episode. A Diary of the Misadventures of an Awkward Black Girl.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I was like, look at her now. Like that's encouragement, you all. Yep. Start where you are. Plant those seeds where you are. Grow where you are, and be intentional. And you where you'll land.
Yeah. That's it.
Man. So last but not least, what are 3 tips you will give to Black women writers watching?
Okay. 3 tips. The first one I would say is it's okay to be weird. And this is, so listen, you gave me this question. I told you I'm gonna switch them up. But I think the first one I'm gonna say is it's okay to be weird. And by weird, we mean unique, not odd or strange, but unique, right? And so here's why, because I know that people have a misconception, and even our own people, Black people in our culture, of Black women's experience. And I think they try to put us in a box. You can't fit us in a box, right? You can't fit anybody in a box. But we talk about the Black woman, there's so many preconceived notions we have about her and even about ourselves. But when we spend time with ourselves, we realize this is a little weird, right? Like, does anybody else do this? Or it's just me? But from a perspective,
that's real.
Be free, and it's okay to be weird. And I think that if I can be real, if I can be honest, I think that Black women, Black people don't have the privilege to be that. We don't. We don't have the privilege to explore weird things because we're always told Black people don't do that. Black women don't do that. What you mean, And I think that's what's really, and that all comes back to embracing your uniqueness, right? And I think once you tap into who you are, the authentic you that you are, you're starting to see more people appreciate that than trying to hold up a standard, or I think they would like this. I think that, no, just be weird. Be as weird as possible, right? That's the first thing. The second thing I would say is kill perfectionism. Now,
Oh Lord.
but perfection.
You hitting something.
listen. Here's the thing about it's going to be an ongoing, lifelong battle, right? So it's like you're never going to be like, oh, that season is done. No, it's going to keep coming back up, right? I think that's the thing that kills writers, but more specifically, Black women writers, especially, and a keyword on women. We do so much trying to be this primp and princess type of thing for culture, for male acceptance, for our own self-esteem, blah 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 blah, right? And just be
That's
like
just too much. It's exhausting.
It's exhausting.
Take off the cake. Take
yes,
it
we do that, and I think it shows up in our writing, which is why we never get the book done. We never get the book done. We never get it done because we want to be perfect, and my standard is Oprah. Great role model, but you're not Oprah. Oprah's Oprah, and she will only be Oprah, right? Great role model.
There's only one Oprah.
Only one Oprah. You will never be her. You won't know, right? So it's like, you look up and then we compare ourselves subconsciously, and it's perfection. Well, I can't write that because that's not so-and-so. So-and-so won't like this. Who cares about all of them? Just write how you're supposed to write. Do it. The editors will get the mistakes. Let them get you suggestions. Who cares? Put it on paper. Get your first draft out. Get it edited, right? But because it's perfectionism breeds now procrastination, right?
Woo!
Then this time next year, that book's still not gonna be done. Yeah. And it's gonna be 2021, and you've been talking about writing this book since 2018. So,
like I had an idea, and then I saw somebody wrote the book.
Yeah.
You can still write your book, right? Even though
that's gonna be, and you know what? That's gonna be my third thing. That right there. We don't own any ideas until we act on it. And that's a wisdom piece I got, which is why, okay, if it's your idea, do something about it, right? So if you have an idea for this book and the storyline, whatever, do something about it. But you can't claim ownership to something that's just out there, but you never claimed it and then put action to it. You can't say McDonald's stole my idea for the Whopper. Did they? If nothing was never on paper, nothing was never done, did they? It's like they stole my idea. I thought about that years ago. What'd you do about it? Right? What'd you do about it? So I think that my third advice is don't claim ownership to nothing unless you're really gonna do something about it. Which goes don't talk yourself to death. Put some application to it.
Yeah, you preaching tonight.
So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it. Great. Set a date and start. Right? Start. Take yourself serious. Life is. I'm not gonna say life is short because it's not. My life is not short. Your life is not short. But time can be wasted. And at the end of the day, we've had this whole pandemic. We've had time. Get your rest in the pandemic, right? Get some healing in the pandemic. But it's also time to get stuff done that we haven't had time to do. But just take, and then be practical. Even if it's 15 minutes a day, at least you did something. But don't get mad at someone and say, took my day. They didn't take it because you didn't do nothing with it. You didn't do anything with it. So, yeah.
I hope y'all got y'all notebooks like I, encouraged you in the beginning. But if you didn't, just watch it again because it is time for us to move.
Yeah.
Thoughts. We are no longer shackled, you all.
Yeah.
We have to take the shackles and the limiting beliefs off of our thinking and off of our hearts. If it's unforgiveness you wrestling with, the reason why you can't move forward, work that out. If it's you feel like you need the support of in the whole world, but you're not getting it, move forward anyway.
Yeah.
Move forward anyway. Yeah. Everyone will not see the vision that you have because it is yours to steward. It is yours to steward.
Yeah.
So raise your eyes up a little bit more. Hold your head up. Walk. It is time to walk.
And I wanna add to what you just boldly stated, right? And hopefully people really pay attention to that, because the time for excuses is literally running up, because we can no longer say, no one will read it. Do you know people have blogs now? Do you know how information is accessible? You know how easy we can no longer use that excuse. We can no longer say, I don't have time. That's never been an excuse. We can no longer say that. We can no longer say, well, there's not many people who look like me. We can no longer say that, because if not now, the time right now is right, especially for Black people, but Black women. The time is right for it. People are, because they're conscious and aware of stuff, their hearts are ready, and they're ready to receive what we have to say if done in the right way. And so the time is now. I mean, if not, I don't know what else we be waiting for, smoke signal or whatever, but the time is now. This is your sign, right? We said this is your sign. And I'm like, how many more signs you keep needing? But Bianca said it really good. She goes, I mean, no one will publish me. Those times are old now. You self-publish now.
Yeah,
right?
I self-publish every book.
You surely have. You surely have. And Bianca has been, I'm a brag on her, because she's the definition of doing it. And she has an audience, right? But she does, even she doesn't have one, because she realizes, like, it's my purpose. Now, she does have a whole art, she has a whole platform, but she's not doing it for, necessarily people's applause. She's doing it because, I'm supposed to do this, and this is my legacy and inheritance, and leaving in the earth. And it's like, we got to get to that point now where it's like, if I get affirmation or whatever, that's a plus, but that's not what I need to necessarily do what I have to do. Does it feel good? It does, but it's not necessary to do what I have to do. So
yeah. You got to dig into, ooh, you have me go somewhere else, but I'm going to go there. You got to dig why.
Yep.
And be so convicted in your why, to the point of, even when I'm tired, okay, I'm going to go take this nap. But after this nap, I'm going to get up, because my why is my fuel. Yeah. My why is my reason. I won't run myself raggedy,
right?
Which I have done in the past.
Me too.
But I, plan accordingly. If you have family like I do, little kids and whatnot, or you single, still don't let nobody rule your schedule just because you single. I'm just leave it there. But you have to be strong in your why.
Yep.
And cannot be moved from your why unless God tells you to pivot. And that, your why is your why.
Yep.
And that's what keeps you moving.
That's what keeps you moving.
That's what keeps you standing. And that's what keeps you saying, you know what? I may not know how to do what I need to do, which I've been in that position several times, but I have Google. I got YouTube. I got friends. I can just text and say, hey, do you happen to know how to do this? You just never until you ask somebody.
There you go. Just look it up. There's just no more. Bianca, you first of all, you got me stirred. Cause I'm like, I was writing today. I was like, I gotta write tonight too, right? But it's no more excuses, and your why. And here's the thing. You know it's a solid why if your why extends beyond you. That's something that'll keep you up at night. If you have a burden or a reason why, and it goes beyond just me, right? But when you have a why that goes beyond just you, it's about a message for a culture, for people, for a society, for a person, people with experience, whatever. That's something that will keep you up, where you're like, no, I have to do this. It contributes to the conversation, right? It contributes to that. And if I don't have my piece in here, the conversation stays small. But I add my piece in here, everybody else add theirs, now you create awareness to this thing. So, man,
that's how we're going to leave you with that why. Yes. But before we close, Janay, how can people connect with you?
Sure. So, website not up yet, but you just social media, right? Just social media. I be clowning y'all, and then I be having serious moments, but whatever. Just social media, Janay Brinkley _ on Instagram, and then on Facebook, just search my name, Janay Brinkley. So yeah.
So It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having
so
me.
much. This conversation, I just feel the fire. It just fueled me to continue to stand on my why and to not be moved. I don't know about y'all listening, but I got more than what I anticipated. Just by having conversation and the power of dialogue and the power of telling our own narratives. We have the power to do that, you all.
Yeah.
To tell our stories how we see fit and in the most authentic way. So thank you all for tuning in to the Black Women Writers Edition as we highlight a beautiful Black woman who writes. And I'm just full. I'm full.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Get to subscribe and leave a comment because we want to hear you. Yes. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.